Hi, I'm Gracie. I've spent 35 years as an elementary school teacher before retiring last year. People always told me I had the patience of a saint. Turns out I'd need every bit of it. Mom, we're here! My son Michael walked through the front door, his smile lighting up the room like it always had since he was a little boy. Behind him was his wife of 3 years, Vanessa. Did you remember to wipe your feet? The forecast didn't mention rain. Vanessa looked pointedly at the perfectly clean hardwood floor. That's how it always started. Little comments that seemed innocent enough but carried this undercurrent of criticism. The house looks nice, Mom. Michael hugged me tight. Before he married, we'd talk for hours about everything and nothing. He'd stop by 3 times a week, sometimes just to share a coffee and tell me about his day at the architectural firm. I'm surprised you managed to hang those curtains yourself, Gracie. They're only slightly crooked. Vanessa smiled sweetly while delivering another tiny jab. Robert, my husband of 40 years, squeezed my hand under the table. Actually, I hung those last week. Thanks for noticing my shoddy workmanship. That night, I called my best friend Eleanor. We've been thick as thieves since college. She did it again, Elle. I swear she finds something wrong with everything I do. I've seen it myself, Gracie. Remember Thanksgiving? When she asked if you needed help cutting the turkey because it must be hard at your age? You're only 62. Maybe I'm being too sensitive? No way. I've watched this for 3 years. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. The next morning, I was gardening when my neighbor Tom walked over. He's lived next door for decades, a retired police officer with a keen eye for detail. Morning, Gracie. Those roses are looking beautiful. Thanks, Tom. How are things? Good, good. Say, I couldn't help overhearing your daughter-in-law yesterday when she was leaving. Was talking on her phone in the driveway? Oh? My stomach tightened. She was saying something about how she had to spend another afternoon with Michael's useless mother, and how you couldn't even make decent coffee. Sorry to tell you, but thought you should know. I nodded, fighting back tears. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. 3 weeks later was Christmas dinner. I'd spent 2 days cooking, making Michael's favorites. This stuffing is interesting. Vanessa pushed it around her plate. My mother makes it with chestnuts. It's actually edible. Robert cleared his throat. Gracie's stuffing recipe has been in her family for generations. Well, maybe some traditions aren't worth keeping. I took a deep breath. More turkey, anyone? Mom's always made the best holiday dinners, Michael said, but his defense was weak, his eyes not meeting mine. Really? Because I've had to redo everything she's contributed to our dinner parties. Vanessa looked directly at me. No offense, but you're kind of useless in the kitchen, Gracie. Actually, not just the kitchen. The table went silent. Robert's fork clattered against his plate. Michael stared at his lap. What did you just say to me in my own home? My voice was surprisingly steady. Oh, don't be so sensitive. It was just a joke. Vanessa rolled her eyes. That's when I knew. No more playing nice. No more being the bigger person. This was war. I think you owe my mother an apology, Michael finally said, but his voice was so quiet you could barely hear it over the Christmas music playing in the background. For what? Being honest? I'm just saying what everyone thinks. Vanessa flashed that fake smile again. Robert slammed his hand on the table, making the glasses jump. That's enough. Nobody talks to my wife like that in our home. Nobody? Fine. Sorry if you can't take a joke, Gracie. Vanessa rolled her eyes again. After they left, Robert was still fuming. He paced our living room like a caged tiger. 30 years as a construction foreman, and I never heard anybody with such a sharp tongue. That woman is poison, Gracie. Pure poison. Did you see how Michael barely defended me? My hands shook as I gathered the dirty plates. Leave those. Sit down. Robert took my hands. This stops now. No more taking her crap. That night, I couldn't sleep. By 6 a.m., I'd made a decision. I dug out an unused journal from my desk drawer and wrote down every incident I could remember from the past 3 years. The next day, I called Eleanor. About time! I've been waiting for you to fight back for years. I need your help, Elle. Remember your goddaughter's wedding last summer? When Vanessa told everyone I was showing early signs of dementia because I forgot where I parked? God, yes. And at the Labor Day barbecue when she accidentally spilled wine on your new dress, then told everyone you shouldn't wear white at your age anyway. Can you write down every incident you've witnessed? Dates? Who was there? Exactly what she said. Already on it. I've got 3 pages of notes from just the last 6 months. I was weeding the garden when Tom wandered over, his golden retriever sniffing around my rose bushes. How you holding up after that Christmas disaster? The whole neighborhood heard Robert telling her off. I'm done being her punching bag, Tom. Did she say anything else on the phone that day? Plenty. She told whoever she was talking to that you were losing it mentally, and that Michael should consider putting you in a home soon. Said she was working on convincing him. My trowel dug hard into the soil. She said what? There's more. My daughter Melissa was at the Westfield Mall last week. Overheard Vanessa telling someone that you were blowing through Robert's retirement money on gambling websites. That's insane. I've never gambled in my life. Melissa recognized her from your Facebook photos. She's willing to back you up. 2 days later, my sister Janet called. We hadn't spoken in weeks. Is everything okay with you and Robert? Financially, I mean. What? Of course. Why? Well, Vanessa called me worried about you. Said Robert lost a bunch of money in some sketchy investment and you guys might lose the house. She asked if I could lend you money without mentioning she told me. My blood boiled. That's a complete lie, Janet. We're fine. After calling 3 more relatives who'd heard similar stories, I invited Eleanor over. We spread all our evidence across my dining room table. Look at this pattern, Gracie. She isolates Michael from you, undermines your mental competence, and creates financial concerns to worry the family. Classic manipulation tactics. But why? What does she get from destroying my relationship with my son? Control. If Michael thinks you're unstable or irresponsible, he'll rely on her judgment instead of yours. I stared at the pages of documented incidents. So what do we do? Eleanor smiled. Remember how I worked in HR for 20 years before retiring? My specialty was workplace investigations. We're going to set a trap so perfect she'll expose herself completely. So here's the plan. Eleanor laid out several index cards on my coffee table. First, you play the role she wants, the doddering old lady. Let her think she's winning. You want me to act even more submissive after what she called me? Exactly. Meanwhile, we gather concrete proof. Get a voice recording app on your phone. Wisconsin is a one-party consent state for recordings. The next day, Michael called, clearly Vanessa's doing. Mom, about Christmas dinner. Vanessa feels really bad. Oh, don't worry about it, sweetie. I know I can be difficult sometimes. The words tasted like vinegar, but I pressed record before saying them. Really? That's great. Vanessa thought you'd still be upset. Tell her I'm looking forward to our lunch on Thursday. I've been so forgetful lately, she's right to be concerned. After hanging up, I wanted to throw my phone across the room. The following morning, Tom knocked on my door with a young woman. Gracie, this is my daughter Melissa. She has some information you might find interesting. Melissa looked uncomfortable. I work at Cornerstone Marketing, same company as Vanessa. She's in the accounting department, right? Yes, and I'm in HR. Look, I shouldn't be doing this, but Dad told me what's happening and it's not right. Melissa pulled out a folder. Vanessa has had 3 complaints filed against her in the last year for taking credit for other people's work and spreading rumors about coworkers. She's on final warning. That fits the pattern, I said, adding the information to my evidence pile. When Thursday came, I met Vanessa for lunch, phone recording in my purse. You look tired, Gracie. Still upset about Christmas? She didn't even try to hide her smirk. No. You were right to point out my shortcomings. Actually, I was hoping you could help me with something. Oh? Her eyebrows shot up with interest. Robert and I were thinking about putting the house in Michael's name. For estate purposes. Would you mind looking over the paperwork? That's actually a good idea. With your memory issues, it's smart to get affairs in order. So you've noticed my memory problems too? Michael mentioned you were concerned? Well, it's obvious to everyone. Last month you forgot Michael's birthday. I hadn't forgotten anything. Michael's birthday is in April, and it was February. I suppose you're right. What else have you noticed? I want to know if I should see a doctor. For the next 20 minutes, Vanessa detailed incidents of my supposed mental decline, all complete fabrications. My phone captured everything. Later that week, I accidentally texted Michael a message meant for Robert. Can't believe Vanessa suggested putting me in a home. Michael would never allow that, would he? When Michael called immediately, panicking, I pretended to be confused. Did I text you? Sorry, honey, don't worry about it. Mom, Vanessa never said that. She thinks the world of you. Oh, must have been a dream then. My mistake. The seeds of doubt were planted. Eleanor and I finalized our plan the night before the annual family reunion at my sister Janet's lake house. Everything's ready, Eleanor confirmed. Janet's on board. Tom and Melissa will arrive at 2 o'clock. I've got the recordings edited and ready to play. What if Michael doesn't believe it? What if he chooses her? That's his choice to make. But he deserves to know who he really married. You ready for this? I nodded, looking at the evidence we'd collected. More than ready. Janet's lake house was packed with family. Vanessa played the perfect daughter-in-law, helping with food and complimenting everyone. Your pasta salad looks amazing, Janet. You'll have to give me the recipe. When everyone arrived, including Tom and Melissa, Janet clinked her glass. Before we eat, Gracie has something to share. Vanessa's smile faltered as I stood up. What's going on, Mom? Michael looked confused. I've been letting something happen for 3 years that I can't allow anymore. I pulled out my evidence folder. Vanessa has been systematically trying to destroy my relationships with this family. That's ridiculous! Vanessa jumped up. Michael, your mother clearly needs help. I connected my phone to the speaker. This is from our lunch last week. Vanessa's voice played. Everyone can see you're losing it, Gracie. Michael and I have discussed memory care facilities. My voice. But Michael never mentioned that to me. Vanessa. He's afraid you'll freak out. That's why he asked me to handle it. Michael went pale. I never said that. We never discussed any facilities. I played recordings of Vanessa fabricating stories about gambling, violence, and psychiatric issues. You told Aunt Carol I was on psych meds? Michael turned to Vanessa. She's editing these recordings. This is a setup. Pete stood up. You told me Gracie borrowed $5,000 and refused to pay it back. Janet added, You told me they were losing their house. Melissa stepped forward. I work in HR at Cornerstone. Vanessa is on final warning for similar behavior, spreading rumors and manipulation. You're all ganging up on me. Vanessa backed toward the door. Michael, these are lies. Why would everyone make up the same story? Michael looked devastated. Your mother is manipulating all of you. The only manipulator is you, I said calmly. For 3 years, I've let you belittle me and spread lies. No more. Vanessa suddenly switched tactics, crying. I'm so sorry, Gracie. I've been under pressure. I never meant to hurt anyone. Save it. I don't accept your apology. What you've done is unforgivable. 2 weeks later, Michael moved into our guest room while filing for separation. Vanessa lost her job after Melissa's report triggered an investigation. I should have seen it, Mom. Michael and I were having coffee on the porch. All those little comments, the constant criticism. You loved her. Love blinds us sometimes. Not anymore. I've got clear vision now. When Vanessa called, begging for another chance, I answered Michael's phone. He's not available to toxic people anymore. Neither am I. I hung up and blocked her number. What would you have done if you were Michael? Would you have believed your mother immediately or stood by your spouse? Is family loyalty more important than marriage vows when faced with toxic behavior? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this difficult family situation. If you enjoyed this revenge story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. New videos every day.